experience of Filipinos everywhere, both for their transportation and on-demand deliveries needs. In line with this, we are sharing with you this morning how Grab has prepared in the past 10 months to be a key partner of our kababayans to be fully present with their loved ones this Christmas. To kickstart our discussion and our sharing this morning, please welcome on stage the country head of Grab Philippines, Ronald Roda. Christmas songs. Morning, everyone.
Morning.
So, good morning. And so today, what I'd like to do is really talk about a little bit of our plans for Christmas as overall Grab, meaning both for transport and for food delivery. You know. But before I start, siguro, let me just provide a bit of context to this little presentation. So, I've done this press like every year, except ng pandemic, and we did one last year in our office. And I was telling RV we've improved a lot because we used to do this in the office, and now we're using a hotel venue, you know, for the first time. But I think the point is basically to share with you what we are doing for Christmas because Christmas is such a big thing for Grab. Okay, so let me start. Okay, so as context again, no, if you recall, post-pandemic, no, our Grab car fleet was basically decimated post-pandemic, and so we had a lot of issues in 2022 getting out of the pandemic with regards to reliability and with the affordability of our rides. No. So we've taken it upon ourselves to improve ourselves, no, and we've actually improved year on year to serve, you know, both all of our partners, whether it's passengers, eaters, drivers, and merchants better. And so here are some of the stats for this year. No? So from a reliability standpoint, GrabCar is finally very reliable this year. We basically serve 9 out of 10 of our passengers. If you recall, in 2022, this number was something like we were able to serve 6 out of 10. And then last year, maybe 8 out of 10. And then this year, finally, 9 out of 10 passengers are able to book. For those of you who take Grab, it takes 21 seconds to book a Grab booking these days and 5 minutes for the car to arrive. So it's taken a long time to get there, really driven by supply. And so parang we've gotten better over time. Aside from reliability, we've also become more accessible, or if you want to use the word affordable, we're the only transport option whose fares have gone down year on year. Both actually not just for car, but also for our deliveries business. And the team will talk a little bit about how far we've gone from an accessibility and affordability standpoint, no, versus the past 2 years post-pandemic. And lastly, we always talk about safety, and you're gonna see a score here, 99.99998%. No? Doesn't mean much on this slide, but effectively, we've improved 40% from a safety incident standpoint versus the past year, and another 20-30% versus 2022. So, and a lot of that is driven by tech features and driver education, and we will also talk about that later. Okay, now, despite those improvements, the Christmas season is really something different per PH because this is ultimately the time where, you know, everyone comes out to party, traffic is bad, no? And so this is a challenge for us. So I think this year, our goal is to become, again, better to serve you for Christmas. And we've taken the last 10 months to basically prepare for this, this day, no? So typically during Christmas, you're going to see people say, well, basically two things lang naman. Hindi makabook, whether that's car or transport, or ang traffic, diba? So usually yun yung sinasabi nila. And we have plans to basically address those this year. Okay, next. So just some stats year on year. This is post-pandemic stats, no? Just so that you see kind of the reality of today. During Christmas, our mobility business, which is effectively car, um, demand is usually 20% higher for the whole month of Christmas. But there are weeks, basically the second and the third week of the year, where demand is up to 45%, no, from a booking standpoint. So, and it's really this 10-day period between typically December 10 and December 20. So last year, for those of you who attended my briefing, I remember I did the briefing mga December 8. And I was telling people, hey, we're still fairly reliable. We were in the 80s then. No? And then that was December 8. 9, 10, pagdating ng December 11, yun, nag 50% increase na yung, yung booking. So parang it's this sudden spike. It's not like it's constantly increasing. What happens during Christmas is it will suddenly spike towards the second and third week of the year. From a delivery standpoint, that's our food delivery business. Overall, Christmas is 6%, but there are days, where Christmas, second week, third week, New Year, where it's up to 20% higher. So that's kind of the reality of the stats of the past 2 years. And this year, siguro we expect it to be better. Sorry to phrase, we expect it to be the same or actually maybe even worse. And we've prepared for that. Okay, next. Okay, so what are our overall high-level plans? So the team will talk about this, but I'll talk about the high-level parang items on this slide. So I think the first item is, no matter how much supply you have, no matter how far we prepared for supply, this sudden spike of 50% in the second and third weeks for car, right, is really, really difficult. And of course, as you know, we're constrained by the number of slots. You know, and to be fair, the government has been very helpful to help us prepare more supply for this season. The second item on this slide is, we keep talking about passengers and eaters for Christmas, but we never really talk about the other side of the business. No? And the other side are drivers and merchants. No? And if you look at these guys, our drivers and the merchants, they basically look at Christmas to prosper as well. So kung employee ka, you have Christmas bonus. If you're a driver or a merchant, you're looking at the very high demand, you know, for Christmas to be able to make money. You know? So we don't only serve eaters and passengers, we also have to serve the other side, which is effectively drivers, riders, merchants. You know? And they expect us to be able to help them prosper as well for Christmas. Yun. The third interesting item, which I won't block it here, is that traffic affects driver productivity. And based on our stats, drivers spend 14% more time on rides, no? During Christmas for the same time. So let's just say, for example, every ride is 30 minutes. During Christmas, that's 14% higher, right? So that's example lang of what happens during the holidays. And what that means is, you know, a driver driving, let's say, 8 hours is ultimately able to do less, no? And is less productive because of the situation outside. And lastly, you know, I've talked about serving 9 out of 10 customers. And, you know, typically, even at 9 out of 10, we still see some complaints. And I think the reason is, as we get better, people expect more from us. So dati, 60% reklamo sila. Nung nag-70 kami, happy na sila. Pero ngayon, 90. Kulang pa yan. No? So parang, the expectations change as we become better, and it's not going to be any different this Christmas. Okay. Okay, so we have effectively 4 key plans, which the team will discuss with you in detail through the next slides. The first is boosting reliability, which is effectively, you know, becoming more reliable for the holidays. The second is ensuring safety, especially during the holidays where there are a lot of incidents. No? Promoting accessibility or affordability, if you call it. And lastly, not the least important, but also very important, is to optimize holiday earnings for our drivers and our merchants. So we have, as a platform, Grab has to serve eaters, passengers, drivers, and merchants all in one. And it's a parang delicate balancing act no, on how we're able to satisfy the needs of all our stakeholders. So yun. What's that? Okay, so in a nutshell, we've taken basically 10 months to prepare for this Christmas. Typically, we used to prepare for 3. And this is kind of a high level timeline of what we will discuss. At the top are the things we have worked with our regulator on. No? And at the bottom are our tech launches. So if you look at it, we started working on supply as early as Q1, di ba? And to get parang supply right in time for the holidays. Together with the new airport management, we've also started discussions on the airport, no? Because obviously it's not the EA anymore, it's NNIC. And these are some of the parang bigger ticket items from a regulatory or partner standpoint we've been working on. At the bottom is a list of an entire set of tech features, which Greg and EJ will talk about you shortly. But it's everything from safety, saver, which is kind of our affordability, Grab unlimited discounts, group rides, and so on and so forth. And so the team will go into this in detail over the next few slides. Okay. So with that, I'm gonna turn over the details to my partners today,
EJ and Greg. Yeah?
EJ and Greg.
Thank you so much, Ronald. So preparing for the holidays is truly not an easy task. It's almost Herculean as a matter of fact, but nothing is gonna stop us. Of course, we remain grateful to our regulatory partners like the LTFRB for their collaboration and their continuous consultative relationship with us. So in 2024, yes, we intend to be much bolder in breaking barriers to make a difference and elevate consumer experience. It means that we need to observe our customers even more and really obsess about creating value for our customers, our drivers, and our merchants. So through a strong cadence of technological introductions in the past 10 months, we have continued to deepen our commitment to every consumer relying on the Grab platform, providing utmost reliability, safety, and accessibility this holiday season. To share with us these technological innovations, we have our very own tech bros at Grab Philippines. Of course, we have on stage, next slide, EJ. We have on stage here Mr. EJ De La Vega, our Director for Mobility, and later on you'll be hearing from Greg Camacho, our Director for Deliveries and Strategy.
Thanks, Gavin. So I'll start it off. Ronald talked about a couple of things. Obviously, during the holiday season, I love it. It's the greatest time of the year because I get to spend time with my family and my friends. Unfortunately, that is the same for millions of Filipinos also who want to do the same. We did a survey of our consumers and people that use the Grab app. What we think is happening is that the average group size of Christmas gatherings and New Year gatherings is about 15, and 20% of our users plan to travel with family and friends. Now, we realize that we play an important part in ensuring that we can deliver good transportation and services to them. Ultimately, in a nutshell, we want to get you and your loved ones together to the best that we can. And we'll start with the first point that Ronald mentioned earlier was boosting reliability. I think we've done a lot over the last 10 months. As Ronald mentioned, 9 out of 10. It's nakaka-proud, honestly, and took a lot to get there with Grab, the help of our regulators, etc. But it's gotten a lot. With that, though, during the holiday period, as Ronald mentioned, it's such a sudden spike, up to 40%. Actually, there are times, if you break it down kahit per hour, it can go as high as 2x, maybe even more, during the worst possible hours. And so as much as we can prepare, there's really just going to be a shortage of the number of cars available, whether that's infrastructure-wise or the number of cars. And so we were thinking of solutions. How do we make it better then? We need to put more people in the cars that are already on the road. One of the features we launched this year is we call it Group Ride. So with Group Ride, maybe some are familiar with Grab Share. That's where you match with maybe a stranger heading the same direction. With group ride, this is more, I guess you can plan for it. This is the feature where you and your office mates or your friends who are all heading to the same restaurant can share a ride plan. So this is me, maybe Galen, if we're heading to the same restaurant. With the group ride feature, it allows us to either book from different pickups to the same drop-off or the same pickup to multiple drop-offs. So maybe Galen and I are in different places and we're heading to the same restaurant for dinner. We can book a group ride. I get picked up first, then Galen, and then we're dropped off at the restaurant. And then on the way home, maybe Galen and I live close to one another. We can pre-plan also that we're picked up from the restaurant, I get brought home, and then Galen gets brought home. A little known fact actually is that Grab has its own mapping technology and we build it on our own mapping platform. This allows us to optimize routes to ensure that these drivers, again, serving more people in the same ride, are given the most efficient routes possible. You get real-time updates. I know, for example, that Galen is on his way to pick me up, right? And at the end of the day, again, we can coordinate our schedules better because we're sharing a ride. So it makes our drivers a lot more efficient during the times where it just takes that much longer to do the same ride. Even the 14% stat earlier, that's an average. But really, when you dig into the details, it can go as high as maybe 50, even more, for the same distance just because of traffic. The last key point is actually, it's even cheaper. When you do a group ride, because you're sharing a single base fare, it's cheaper than me and Galen taking individual rides to the same place. So we hope it's a win-win-win. It's better for drivers, they're more efficient. Galen and I get to share a ride. We help with the congestion problem, and hopefully that means we're able to better utilize the fleet that's already on the road. Next. Next, obviously, this holiday period, it's a time of travel, right? Family vacations, etc. So leading to the holidays, we know that a lot of people will be heading to the airport. We now have a feature called advanced booking, where you can book your scheduled ride as early as 7 days ahead. So I might have, for example, a flight on Thursday. As early as now, I can schedule an advanced booking ride. Now, what that allows us to do is that gives us a lot more time to find you a driver and to find you a match for a driver that will do your ride. And we're able to give you a much stronger guarantee that that driver will be there at the exact time you schedule. So, for example, if the traditional on-demand ride is, I'm going to hit the book button now, we will start looking for a driver. Ito, 7 days, up to 7 days ahead, we're already finding you a driver who is willing to take your ride. And he can pre-plan from the driver's standpoint. He can also pre-plan to be there when you need him there. So if I say I need a ride at 5 in the morning on Wednesday, as early as, again, up to 7 days in advance, the driver is already informed that I need to be there at 5 a.m. Right? Even from a back-end standpoint, that means the driver will not be accepting rides before then, so he can make it a priority to be there for you at the time that you specify. So it minimizes the stress of travel, right? We really, this one is we hope this to be our most reliable product available because we know how important it is, the anxiety that comes from a flight. People schedule hours in advance and we kind of want to help them with that problem also. Next is what we call multi-service type booking. Some of you have already seen this actually. This is already live. But what this what allows passengers to do is essentially select multiple service types and say, I just need a car. So it improves your chance of getting allocated, whether that's a 4-seater, 6-seater ride, without having to wait for your first booking, then maybe let me try something else, maybe let me try if I can get a different service type. So just being able to do everything in a single booking, we're able to distribute the demand across our multiple vehicle types. And so we're able to fill the gaps when maybe one is less reliable than the other. So that's on reliability. This one is one of my favorite topics specifically. At the core of Grab has always been safety. If you think about the historical origins of Grab, it was always rooted in safety. Hindi pa nga Grab yung name ng kumpanya dati. Um, but why I love talking about it is because it's actually not something that a lot of people know about. I'll give you an example. One of the features that we launched, it's called Audio Protect. Audio Protect is an opt-in feature that ultimately leverages Grab's technology to ensure that your rides are safer because of audio recording. Now, it's an opt-in feature so that we obviously everything is stored in secure servers. Audio recordings get deleted when not needed. But ultimately, it serves two purposes. The first is that it is a deterrent. So on the driver's side, drivers know that audio recording is ongoing. That means essentially, like when they accept a ride, they know that Grab safety features are in place. And the second core principle of it is that in case that there are any investigations that need to be done, uh, the audio recordings serve as evidence, for example. But I think one thing is ultimately our goal is that these features never get used. That's why we put such a strong emphasis on things like it being a deterrent. The less these features get used, the better. But for us, it is where a lot of our resources go into. Not a lot of people realize that we have very dedicated tech teams just for our safety features. Our engineers are just for these safety features. It is key to what we do at Grab. And not a lot of people realize it because, and I think that's the beauty of it. If you can just get into a ride or get into a car and feel safe, you don't actually need to know what goes on in the background. Speaking of, moving on to our next one, this is what I mean by things going on in the background. What we have what we call trip monitoring. So it's a very critical component to our safety features. Um, this all happens very seamlessly in the ride. So because, for example, we know we're able, again, I mentioned we have our own mapping and geotech. So this feature allows us, for example, to know, for example, if there's an unplanned stop. We call these sort of safety anomalies. We're able to prompt you and the driver, maybe some have experienced it, but like, there's an unplanned stop, we ask the passenger, are you okay? Right? So again, all in the background, but so much of our bandwidth actually goes to all of these safety features. We love that they can be invisible, but at the same time, we do want to spread the awareness to ensure that people feel safe that when they take a Grab ride. Next, we also launched this year what we call the family account. So the family account allows users to book rides for their family members. And with these rides, as I mentioned, invisibly in the background, all of Grab's safety features are live for every one of your family members. This allows you to monitor real time when your family members are on a ride, for example. It allows for emergency assistance when needed. That in case of any unexpected events, family admins can quickly take action, and it enhances the communication also. So it facilitates communication between family admin owners, the member taking the ride, and even with Grab. Next. And last but not least, at least Ronald mentioned earlier, we've gotten better. So we have had more supply on the road. The recovery post-pandemic has been good, and that's allowed us to launch actually one of our first affordability products. Earlier this year, we launched Grab Car Saver, wherein we're able to offer more affordable rides for a slightly longer waiting time. So again, every year we try to get better and better, but ultimately, what we're after is really shared prosperity, wherein anytime we get better, we're able to pass that on. When our reliability gets better, rides get more affordable, we're able to launch new features such as Grab Car Saver. And speaking of accessibility and affordability, to talk more about it, I will pass it on to Greg.
All right, good morning, everyone. Before I start, again, just want to say thank you for being here and gracing us with your presence. Before we get into the slides, just again want to talk a bit more about accessibility or affordability, as what Ronald mentioned. Ultimately, at Grab, what we want is to be able to offer as much value as we can for all of our users at every price point, right? So whatever your budget, how do we give you the most bang for your buck? And that one is something we'll see over the holidays. Again, Philippines, we love Christmas, longest Christmas in the world. And the holidays are a time for family and friends to get together. In fact, 8 out of 10 Grab users will be celebrating by enjoying a meal together with family and friends. Based on a survey internally, we've also found that 44% of Grab page users will be using a delivery app for their festive meals. So with Grab's accessible wide selection of merchants and food options, more Filipinos can be truly present with their loved ones this holiday season. Now, furthermore, through various affordability promoting area features, we aim to make festive meals more accessible to everyone. In line with this push, let's first talk about group orders, one of our key product features. So really quickly, I just want to know, because I'm not sure if people know about this yet, but can I get a raise of hands of how many people here have actually used the group order feature on Grab? All right, so we have a lot of work to do. Not what I was expecting, but okay. So group order is a feature designed to enhance affordability for our users. Now, this is what it means. By allowing multiple users to place their orders together, we can actually reduce delivery fees. So for example, if your delivery fee is 59 pesos, if 5 of you order, you then split that 59 across the 5 of you. But it's not just that, of course, because at Grab, we're always trying to overperform and deliver more value. The more people that join the group order, the bigger your discount is. So for example, you see here on the screen, for 4 people, you get 8%, 5 people, 11%, and if 6 people join the order, you get 15% off on your order. But again, that's not all, right? Not resting on our laurels. We have that third feature you see on the right. I'm pretty sure if you've ever experienced ordering as a group in the office, you never want to be the person who has to collect the money or the bill from everyone. It is a very annoying task. And so we try to eliminate that as well for our users. We actually give the feature to split the bill. So you just choose who will be paying for the bill, either yourself or you'll be splitting it equally among all the people who ordered. And even the payment option is something that you can choose. So group order simplifies the process of splitting bills, ensuring that everyone pays only for what they ordered, which further supports our goal of making dining experiences more budget-friendly and transparent. And now let's talk about large orders. So at Grab, we understand the importance of affordability, especially when it comes to large orders for social gatherings, office events, and family celebrations. Now here are just some of the things we're doing to provide users with more value for their large orders. Now, for all of these events, all of these gatherings that we'll be going to, of course, there will be several people there. I think it was mentioned earlier by EJ, on average around 15 people actually go to a gathering. And so we need to be able to provide food for all of those people. Number one is our sharing menus. So we offer sharing menus which are designed to be more economical than ordering individually a la carte. So for example, if you look at the Grab app, we work with our merchant partners to have delivery or food items there that are actually catering specifically to groups, right? So you'll see group bundles there. You'll see group dishes that actually cater to 5, 6, 8 maybe people. And it makes it easier for customers to enjoy quality meals without breaking the bank. Now, again, on top of that, we also offer exclusive promos and discounts specifically for large orders. So we regularly provide promos and discounts with bigger discount amounts for large orders, making it even more affordable for our customers to host their events and their gatherings. Now, you might ask, you guys offer large orders, but can you deliver? Can you fulfill these? And the answer to that is a resounding yes. So on the back end, we've worked very hard on our reliability and fulfillment. For example, if you get a large order, it is very possible that you get a 4-wheel vehicle to deliver, or even get more than one delivery rider on a motorcycle to deliver it, depending on the size of your order. So this is something that we're continuing to optimize with our tech teams at the back end. Now, I just want to shift gears a bit and talk about something that EJ mentioned earlier. So if you have Grab Car Saver, you also have Grab Food Saver. So Grab Food Saver is a key initiative for us that underscores our commitment to provide affordable services for our customers. This was launched earlier this year, and it is designed for consumers who are flexible with their waiting times. So basically, how it works is if you're willing to wait a bit longer for your delivery, you actually get savings on your delivery fees. Now, this allows lower delivery fees by batching orders, which optimizes the delivery routes and reduces operational costs. So, same concept, right? How do we optimize every delivery partner that's on the road? And how do we provide more affordable options for our consumers? Well, with Grab Saver, we're able to do both. Now, since the pandemic, Ronald mentioned this earlier, and I just want to put some numbers to what was mentioned. Our average delivery fees have actually gone down 8 to 10% from the pandemic times. And with Saver, it can go down an even further 10 to 15%. And lastly, want to talk about our expanded Grab Unlimited offerings. So this might not be the first time you've heard of Grab Unlimited, our subscription offer. So it is a pivotal part of our strategy to enhance affordability for our users. This subscription service offers a range of benefits, including free delivery every day and exclusive discounts that are only available for Grab Unlimited subscribers, making it easier for customers to enjoy our services. Recently, in fact, we have expanded our discounts to include Grab Car, where you get 8% off your rides. Now, Grab Unlimited exemplifies our commitment to affordability by providing users with substantial savings and exclusive benefits, ensuring that everyone can enjoy the convenience and reliability of Grab services without financial strain. In fact, this is something I also want to share with you all. If you were to purchase an annual plan for a Grab Unlimited subscription, actually just availing of it once in a month recoups your cost for the whole subscription. Right? So with one order, going bali talaga. And with that, I would like to turn you guys back over to Galen. Thanks, Galen.
Thank you so much, Greg. A big round of applause for Greg and EJ, guys. Thank you so much. And you know what? Launching these technologies, working with the government, these really take months, but it's really worth it once you get to give a better experience for every Filipino just wanting to be present with their families this Christmas. Because Christmas in the Philippines is different, and all of us are pretty much aware of how crazy Christmas can get here in our country. So for many Filipinos, that's often the first chance to see loved ones after a long time. It is a rare moment for us just to take a pause from a year of hustle and just be with our family. So in our desire for everything to be special, our minds often wander to the numerous tasks and chores we think we need to do for the holidays. Sino ba dito yung medyo nalulutang pag Pasko? Raise your hands. Okay, wag niyo ako ipahiya, itaas niyo ang mga kamay niyo. Maraming salamat. Amen. Amen. Okay, so having said that, can we really be truly present every Christmas? That is the question we wish to answer in our upcoming campaign at Grab Philippines. So today we'll be giving you a quick preview of the upcoming campaign Wandering Minds by Grab Philippines that perfectly encapsulates how this holiday season Filipinos get to be present with Grab.
Una si Zeno, next Mara, 4 kilometers, na full day thing. Una si Zeno, next si Mara.
Babe, binuko na sila ng Grab Car Group Ride. Sabay-sabay sila.
Ay, salamat.
Share one car for up to 6 stops. This season, be present with GrabCar.
Ano? Lula, oh. Panoorin mo apo mo. Show Lola your dance, anak.
Hanggang ngayon ba, galit ka pa rin na maaga akong nag-asawa?
Nagwala ba kayo ito? Pati ba kaya? Kailangan mo yung sibuyas sa spaghetti?
Kasi sa'yo ko? Bakit na?
Ma, ready na ba? Kaya na tayo.
Nagpag-grab food na ako.
Nagpag-graduate na ako. Nagpag-graduate na ako. Nagpag-graduate na ako. Ay, salamat, anak.
Grab, ma'am. This season, be present with Grab Food. Order sharing platters for holiday gatherings.
Uy, tumataba ka. Ano sabi mo? Ha? Ano sabi mo? Kanta ka lang! Halika ka dito! Halika dito! Ano?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Witty eh.
So this Christmas, really, wala nang kalat ang utak. Just be present with Grab Philippines. And having said that, we'd like to invite back on stage Greg, EJ, and Ronald for a quick photo opportunity as we immortalize this year's media briefing. Immortalize! Come on. Duolingo doing its job. Okay, Ronald, Greg, and EJ.
Let's take the money shot.
Yes. DJ, paano ka naman? Kumukuti-kutitap ka naman dyan. Very happy, okay? And I'll smile you guys in 3, 2, 1. Okay, with thumbs up naman, you guys. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, and that's about it. Thank you so much. Guys, please stay on stage. We are not done quite yet. Now is your chance to learn more about Grab's key thrust this holiday season and commitment to serving Filipinos better. I'm pretty sure that our friends from the media also have questions of their own. So we are now opening the floor for any relevant questions for our group of speakers for the 10-month preparations that Grab has done for the holiday season. Now, if you have a question, please raise your hand to be acknowledged. One of our staff will be approaching you with a microphone. Then please and kindly introduce yourself and name the person you wish to address with your question. So, we can start with Sir Dax Lucas over here.
Okay.
Oh, can we turn off the lights? Yeah. Dim lang, dim
Para
lang.
makita namin yung kausap.
Yes. Dramatic lighting.
Kung hindi, parang shadow yung nagtatanong.
There you go.
Good morning, Dax Lucas from Insider PH. For Ronald, sir, you've shown us the stats from the previous year. Could you tell us what your stats for the past few months are telling you for this holiday season in terms of volume on the rides and on the delivery services?
Yeah, so we've showed you a little bit of last year. No? So as I said earlier, we think that this year will be a little bit more the same, if not a little bit over. So from a grab car standpoint, that's 45 to 50% more on the critical parang 2 weeks preceding Christmas, and maybe about 20% for Grab Food. So that's kind of the forecast also, coming from where we were, in the past 2 years.
And did I hear that correctly? You expect service this year to be better despite those numbers?
Correct. Despite those numbers, we expect to be a bit more reliable. As I said, we have been improving. So my example earlier was in 2022, just for example, for GrabCar, we served 6 out of 10 customers coming out of the pandemic. Last year, we were, 80%. And this year, we're in the 90s. So, of course, there will be really days where it will be really difficult, but overall, we think better siya than last year.
Thank you so much, Ronald. Any other question? We have Sir Rafi from Daily Tribune.
Hi, good morning. Rafi I from the Daily Tribune. Sir, there are incidences of deliberate yung waiting time na charge yung mga nag-book ng 50 pesos kapag no show. But then there are times na parang ang bagay sinasadya ng driver para ikaw mismo ang mag-cancel kasi sila hindi sila pwedeng mag-cancel. How do you resolve those incidences?
I think this. Can I be heard?
Yes.
Okay. I think this is one of those instances also where we have a lot of things going on in the background. So we have, for example, very strict driver quality framework incidents, a very strict driver quality framework program, essentially. That takes instances like that. No? We take, let's say, if it happens to you, you report it. First of all, I think we take great pride in our customer support. I'm pretty sure anytime that's reported, you get a refund very quickly. That's the first. But all of these reporting mechanisms help inform our driver quality framework that really operates in the background. When these things happen, as an example, we very frequently actually call in drivers for retraining. We are not afraid of implementing penalties when needed. So a lot of this happens in the background. Essentially, the idea of keeping our fleet quality and driver quality high is a continuous and really ongoing process. So we hate to hear when there are these types of one-off experiences, but know that each time it happens, we are acting on it.
And you mentioned the incidents report. How's the surge, or was there a surge na tumaas ba yung incidents report ng mga ganyan?
As I mentioned though, because this is always live, um, not really, because I think the idea nga is it never surges eh. Na nahuhuli namin right when it happens. So kahit maliit na percentage lang yan of increase, we want to nip it in the bud. That's how without going into too many details, no, that's how our driver quality framework mechanisms work. The goal is to, similar to a lot of our safety features, never have them become very prevalent. So we're very much on the side of deterrent and action. And at the same time, our regular driver retraining. Actually, kahit wala ngang incident, we send a lot of mandatory retrainings to drivers para all the policies are reminded, drivers are reminded of all the policies in place. So, no big surge. Siguro, if ever, maliit lang yan, but our goal is always to nip it in the bud. Kaya, I hope that answers your question. But it's a super good question, no? And again, one of those things that not a lot of people are aware of.
And isa pa, yung madalas kong maranasan to, yung driver wala daw GCash. Is it possible na wala siyang GCash? Kasi wala rin, minsan din wala rin siyang barya. Kaya sabi ko nga, ano kuya, magtititigan tayo dito. Wala kang barya, wala kang GCash. Anong gagawin ko?
Well, I think that first of all, the good news is GCash is integrated already onto the platform. If dati, naging substitute siya for cash, but really you're paying GCash, now you just go directly through the app. So there should be no need to kind of go through that process of wala.
So nagpapalusot lang si driver. Kasi gusto niya makakuha ng cash. Ganun ba yun?
No, perhaps this is outdated. I think the GCash integration eliminates that na. So I think it's more an awareness thing that people can link their GCash na, similar to other services also. So you don't even, I think the goal for us is actually na laging seamless. Wala na dapat negotiation with the driver, you don't have to think about that stuff.
Okay, so maybe let's dial back. So if you use GCash, you're supposed to use GCash on the Grab app, diba? Because it's integrated. Now, if you're in the car, and then wala ka palang cash, gusto mo magbayad ng GCash, yun yung medyo hassle, di ba? Kasi technically, they're not on GCash, they're on GrabPay. Kasi what we do is we convert GCash into their GrabPay. That's the platform that they use. So in theory, dapat off yung reason kung bakit nag-negotiate ka inside the car, and that should not be done in theory. Because if you select cash, the driver will expect you to pay cash. Diba? If you select GCash, Grab will process that for you and do the transfer from GCash to GrabPay. I mean, hopefully that makes it clear. Kasi dapat hindi siya nangyayari.
I think we were very aware and accepting of the proliferation of digital wallets. Kaya, while it wasn't present maybe a couple of years ago, today, very directly integrated na across multiple wallets even, not just GCash. No? Para hindi na nga mangyari yung kind of us also adapting to the times and the circumstances of each country.
Thank you so much, Sir Rafi. We have a question right over here, please. Hand over the mic. Here.
Anyone can answer. Dun sa advanced booking feature, are you also going to implement it not just in the airport? And also, what if the driver who accept the ride prior, like 6 days, 7 days ago, cancel on the day of the booking itself?
Super good question. A lot pala going to me. No? Okay, so first question, do we have plans on implementing it elsewhere? Right now, it's an iterative process. What we found is that the real need for it today, the most talagang top of mind use case for something like that is when you have an airport, when you need to get to the airport. What we want to do is, I mean, obviously we hope that the regular on-demand booking solves for every other use case. But in the future, I think for sure we will explore and continue to explore.
Kasi parang good siya sa mga nag-office. You can advance booking, papasok, saka pa-uwi. So you don't have to wait longer than.
We're exploring all use cases na mag-testing. Yung sa office, we hope the on-demand service solves it. I think hopefully our reliability keeps getting better and better para, that maybe we may not even need it as much. But the airport use case talaga yun yung clear na clear. Hindi ka pwede malate sa flight. So that's one. On your second question, what happens if the driver cancels? A couple of things. So without again going into too much detail, a lot of back-end quality framework things are there also to prevent the driver from canceling. Or even when it happens, re-education, all of that. I don't want to go into too much detail, but yes, drivers are well aware that they should not be. That's one. In the off case where it does happen, what the system actually does is you are prioritized over everyone else. If that in that super edge case where it happens, I don't think I can share the exact percentage, but it's over fraction lang talaga. What we'll do is we'll try to find someone, kumbaga back up, but you are prioritized over everyone else to find you a new driver. So very, very rare dapat yung occurrence na yan. We're not able to deliver. So it gets kind of technical, but like I mentioned earlier, we want this to be our most reliable service across all of them on the transport side.
Thank you so much, Emma.
Hello. Good morning. Hi, I'm Evan from Gadget Pilipinas. So anyone can answer my question.
We live in an interconnected world. A shared past, present, and future. Connected by a series of ties. Strengthened by love. For better or for worse. The need to adapt when there is change. To support one another. To bring kindness where there is pain. The need of loving kindness, of interconnection. The future you used to chase. The future you used to want. Now, you're living it. This is Jabber. Reconnect, adapt, and evolve. Jabber Motorcom. Make rides more fun. Behind every victory is a powerful winning ride. The all-new Winner X. Ride like a champion.